All right, guys. So this story right here is a story of what happens when you play the victim card one too many times. Okay, and this story stars Minnesota State Representative John Thompson, whom accused a police officer of stopping him for driving while black. Right? That's what he accused the police officer of. Okay, now just some background into this guy. He ran as a state representative after his friend Philando Castile died, with his interaction with the police. Okay, so he ran after that, and he's a part of the whole group of lawmakers that are running as basically anti-police. They're part of the whole kind of the defunded police movement, trying to, I guess, quote unquote, bring accountability to police. He's a part of that, right? Just so you guys have full understanding. Now, I'm going to play this news clip that will give you guys background into the situation of him accusing a police officer of pulling him over while black, and how that situation and him making a big deal out of that brought up a lot of questions about whether or not he lives not only in just the district that he's supposed to represent, but whether or not he even actually lives in the state of Minnesota, right? And some more shocking allegations that have come out because of this.
Police released the body camera video of a July 4th traffic stop involving DFL Representative John Thompson.
Why such a hurry? I don't think I took off like a bat out of here.
Thompson told the St. Paul police sergeant he represented the district while handing over a Wisconsin license. He later accused the officer of pulling him over for driving while black. Our Jen from Maryland is here to sort through some of this tonight. Jen?
Yeah, well, Frank, Amelia, there's the issue of where DFL Representative John Thompson lives and where he lived when he ran for office in Minnesota. According to the Minnesota Department of Public Safety, he's never held a driver's license in the state. And then there's a video of the exchange between the officer and Thompson that started all of this. St. Paul police say a sergeant pulled over State Representative John Thompson for not having a front license plate and for the way he took off.
I'm actually the current state representative in this district right here, man. If that makes any difference.
With a Wisconsin license?
Yeah, with a Wisconsin license. I'm State Representative John Thompson.
Okay.
When the officer comes back nearly 15 minutes later, he apologizes.
Sorry that took a little long, but so there's your license to my card. You're suspended in Minnesota? No. That's what the computer says.
Thompson asks why he pulled him over again and then accuses the officer of racial profiling.
Look me dead in the face and I got a ticket for driving while black. You pulled me over because you saw a black face in this car, brother.
The exchange continues.
Stop racially profiling black men in their cars, sir. Stop doing that.
Profiling.
Yes, you were. Yes, you were.
St. Paul Police Chief Todd Axtell said on Facebook the stop had nothing to do with the driver's race and that Thompson owes the sergeant an apology. Thompson called it a pretextual stop in a statement that disproportionately targets non-whites. And in the video, you won't see the officer do anything that isn't by the book. The DFL Speaker of the Minnesota House said that while no ethics complaint has been filed against Thompson about residency questions revealed during the stop, she will work with counsel to thoroughly investigate the law and facts. And the Minnesota Police and Peace Officers Association today called on Wisconsin's Attorney General's office to investigate Thompson for perjury. The group says he defrauded Wisconsin or his constituents while getting a driver's license there. Thompson says he has lived in St. Paul for many years and will get a Minnesota license now. Now, what adds to the question about where Thompson lived while he ran for office is that he checked a privacy box on the paperwork, and a separate form he had to fill out about his address is not a public document.
Yeah, I think there's more to come.
Sure.
All right. Thanks, Jen.
So as you can see there, right, doing that interaction, he accuses the police officer of pulling him over while he's black. Now, the police officer said he pulled him over because he didn't have a front license plate, and he pulled off a little bit too fast after a light turned green. Now, the police officer and the police department has denied these allegations. They're like, no, this is not racially motivated at all, and we want an apology. Now, during that incident, the police officer noticed that, you have a Wisconsin's driver's license, like a valid Wisconsin driver's license, and your Minnesota license is actually suspended. Okay, so you don't have an actual Minnesota license, but you're supposed to be a resident of Minnesota. And his license was suspended in Minnesota because of failure to pay child support. Now, Again, this has brought up questions about where did this dude actually live, right? Is he representing a district that he does not actually live in? Okay. And this is why the police department has called for an investigation into him to see whether or not he is committing fraud, right? Is he committing fraud? And I'm also super curious as to how you become a state representative if you don't even have a license from that state. Got some questions about that, okay? Now, again, this would not have happened had he not tried to go public with these allegations of he was being racially profiled when there's no evidence that the dude was actually racially profiled at all.
We're still getting driving while black tickets here in this state. Matter of fact, in St. Paul. I'm a Minnesota state representative. I'm a lawmaker here. I can wear what I want to wear. I shouldn't have to be profiled. This is ridiculous.
Now, up until this point, the Democratic Party has defended him. However, because of this situation, again, once you start making claims like this, people are going to look into your past. They're going to dig up some dirt on you. And boy, oh boy, did they find some dirt on this guy that has made not only the Democrats turn their back on him, but also the governor and the GOP calling for him to resign. Take a look.
Calls for a state lawmaker to resign are not only loud tonight, they're also bipartisan. But Representative John Thompson's lawyer told WCCO today he does not plan to step down. David Schuman joining us here to explain how this all came about.
Yeah, well, Susan Elizabeth, we've confirmed today that Thompson has a history of alleged domestic violence. Reading through police reports that date back as far as the early 2000s, some of the things he's accused of display a disturbing pattern. DFL State Representative John Thompson appears to be standing alone among his colleagues. His party's chairman has called on him to resign immediately, as have Governor Tim Walz and Lieutenant Governor Peggy Flanagan. All three reference allegations against Thompson of violence against women. To all of these allegations, Thompson's attorney told me they are false and re-emphasized Thompson hasn't been found guilty on any domestic violence charges. He also said Thompson doesn't plan to resign. That list of politicians calling for Thompson to resign continues on and includes the Minnesota House Speaker, the House Majority and Minority Leaders, and U.S. Congress Representative Betty McCollum.
Okay, well, we know the story is going to continue to develop.
We're going to continue to follow this.
Perfect. Thank you, David.
All right, guys. So, bam. Dude gets hit with domestic abuse allegations, and the details of which, I can't really go into, but they were pretty gruesome, right? Pretty gruesome details. And now, the Democrat Party, the GOP, and the governor is calling for this man to resign. Ain't that crazy how that works? None of this would have happened had he not pulled a victim card, had he not accused that officer of pulling him over for driving while black, right? He did it during the interaction, and then after the interaction, he went public with it and tried to make a whole thing out of being racially profiled with no evidence whatsoever. No evidence whatsoever. He tried to smear that police officer as racist with no evidence. Yeah, he pissed some people off. He pissed some people off. And the people that he pissed off, probably the police department, probably more than likely was responsible for digging up that dirt on him. Okay? I'm just saying. Whether it's right or wrong, I'm just saying. When you do stuff like that and you piss off the wrong people, you're going to open up your past to get exposed. And it's crazy because all he had to do in that situation is take the ticket. That's all he had to do. This day and time, when you accuse people of being racist, right? When you accuse somebody of, pulling you over because you're black, it's kind of a big deal considering the environment that we're in. So those are not allegations that people are going to take lightly. Again, this would not have happened. None of this would have happened if he had just taken the L. If he had not played the victim card. All you had to do is just take the ticket, man. As a black person, black man, I've been pulled over probably 2 times, okay, while I'm driving, right? And every single time I've been pulled over, I was speeding. White police officer. He gives me a ticket. I interact with him very respectfully. I don't make any allegations towards him. I don't get mad about it, even though there was a time I got pulled over after leaving a funeral, right, of a close family member. Okay, and obviously, I'm in a bad headspace, but even being in that bad headspace and this guy pulling me over, I didn't take that out on him or, you know, say something that I should not have said. I took my L and I dealt with it in court. Ever since then, that's probably the last time I've been pulled over by the police. That was like 5 or 6 years ago. I've never been pulled over. I've never had to worry about being pulled over for driving while black. Never happened. Okay? You know, typically in situations like this, we see people that play the victim card get away with demonizing people unjustly. But in this situation, it came back to bite him in the butt big time, to the point now where, you know, dude may have to step down. He may have to resign, even though he's saying he's not going to. But, you know, hey, I wouldn't be surprised if the Democrats try to primary him. Who knows? Regardless, this is a cautionary tale of, you know, think twice before you try to play the victim card and try to smear other people unjustly without evidence, because you might get smeared in that process if you try to smear the wrong people. So let me know what you guys think. And make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. Most importantly, share a Black conservative perspective. Peace.